Hello, 6th, 7th grade. This is Miss Odell. Today we're going to be talking through Lesson 42, which was God was behind it all. This is coming from Exodus chapters 3 through. All right. So our listening question today is, what encouragement did God give to Moses? First of all, our listening question today that I want you to listen for as I read through the story is, what encouragement did God give to Moses? I want you to look at this map. This is a map showing you Exodus of the Israelites. Okay, first of all, I want to point out a location here. We have Egypt, and then we have Ramesses here. And that Moses grew up in the house of Pharaoh's daughter. You learned about that in your lesson from yesterday. And he had been living in the city of Ramesses, where Pharaoh lived. Okay? So, let me just ask you a question here. Where did Moses flee after killing the Egyptians? Well, he actually fled to the land of Midian. All right? Next, I want you to look at this map here with me. And notice that Egypt, which is where Moses grew up in the house of Pharaoh, Pharaoh's daughter actually. And notice Ramesses here, which is in Egypt. And that's in the city where Pharaoh apparently lived. Also, where did Moses flee after killing the Egyptians? He fled to the land of Midian, which is right here. All right, let's move on. So, move forward here. All right, so while Moses was keeping sheep for his father-in-law in the Sinai desert near Mount Horeb, there was an angel of the Lord that appeared to him in a flame out of a bush. And you see a picture of that here. Probably not exactly what happened, but maybe a little bit for you to visually see what happened here. The bush was on fire, but it wasn't burning. God spoke to Moses out of the bush and warned him not to come any closer, because that was holy ground. God was not there. So Moses took his sandals off as God commanded him to. God revealed himself to Moses by saying, I am the God of the Father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Now, Moses was afraid to look at God, so he hid his face. Then the Lord assured Moses. He gave him assurance. He knew about the Israelites suffering in Egypt, and he promised to deliver them from their burdens and slavery. But the Lord also told Moses that he would give the people of Israel the land that he had promised them through Abraham hundreds of years before that. God told Moses that he would send him to Pharaoh to lead his people out of Egypt. Now, Moses realized that God was making him the leader of the Israelites. You can see a little picture of that there. But Moses lacked in faith. He lacked in faith in God, and it was evident to him. He was worried. He was scared. He even thought to himself, who am I that I should go to Pharaoh to bring the Israelites out of Egypt? In other words, I can't do this. I can't do this on my own. It's not for me. But just imagine all the doubts Moses was having right then and there. But God, again, assured Moses. He said, I will be with you. Then God told him that after Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, he would return to the very mountain he was standing on to worship God. Moses asked, how will the Israelites know who sent me? That was another fear he had. What if they ask what your name is? Then here's what God revealed to him. God would ensure the success of this deliverance. God told Moses to tell them, listen to what he said, I am has sent him. I am. God told Moses to remind the people of Israel of God's promise that he would bring them out of Egypt into a land flowing with milk and honey. God also told Moses to tell the elders of Israel these things and to go to Pharaoh and ask permission to go on the 3-day journey into the wilderness to offer up a sacrifice and to worship their God. God forewarned Moses, though, however, that Pharaoh would not let the Israelites go and that God would do many miracles before Pharaoh would actually let them leave. So it wasn't going to happen right away, but God knew that. God would show his great power in Egypt. God also said that by the time all the events had taken place, the Egyptians would gladly let the Israelites leave and would even give gifts to them to go. So our question is, our question is, all right, so our listening question is, what encouragement did God give to Moses? Think about that. What encouragement did God give to Moses? Well, he said the promise that God was with him. God is with us at all times, and that is a promise that he made. And we should never forget that. So how did Moses respond to God's call? Well, if you noticed, he began to fill himself with a lot of doubt and unbelief that he was able to do that, but God encouraged him. How did the Israelites leaving Egypt fit into God's plan for Abraham? Well, that was because God had promised Abraham that the land of Canaan would be given to the descendants as an inheritance so the Israelites would get out of Egypt. And then what encouragement did God give Moses when he commissioned him to lead the people of Israel out of Egypt? God promised to be with Moses. Now, here's a question for you. If you have trusted Christ, and I pray that each and every one of you have, God has also promised you that he is with you to do his will. What is one thing you know you need to do today that you will need God's help? And this is an opinion question. You don't have to say it out loud, but think to yourself. What is one thing you know you need to do today that you will need God's help? You will need his presence. Think about that. All right? Now, your assignment is to complete pages 64 yeah, that's right. It's only page 64. And what you need to do is make sure you take a picture of that and turn that in. Let me know if you have any questions.